Hitting you harder than a blade runner. Top podcasters can't outgun us, brother. Your verbal bang bang guns up. We don't play safe, we just light it up. Too sweet. We are the standard of excellence. We hurt people, dropping truth bombs with confidence. Mike skills elite, no need to settle. We are just on another level. Bang bang, dynamite drop. Bang bang, never gonna stop. Reach for the sky and no one will get hurt.
So yes, everybody, no quick movements, hands up, because you know the music, you know what day it is. It's Friday, and Glorious Friday is the Dynamite Drop, powered by The Hub. Ashlee, have I tell you about The Hub? The Hub is a collection of the greatest professional wrestling podcasts on Mother Earth. On Tuesdays, you have Eric B., Randy C., The Raw Dog, and his partner in crime. They cover everything from Monday Night Raw, and of course, our show, the best show, in my humble opinion. If you don't like that, guns up again, buddy. It's the Dynamite Drop with Ashlee and I. We cover AEW, and sometimes we cover a 4 freaking hour show. And of course, on Saturday, you have the Smack Daddies, Fodder Gray Falcon, Brad and Dad. They cover a 3-hour show, so suck it up, Buttercup. Suck it up. They do a good job. So, Ashlee, we just went through a marathon AEW Fyre Fest, and I gotta say, I feel like I got 2 tickets to the Fyre Festival.
Yeah, a long show, a good show, a lot of progressions, and then some kind of like questionable pacing choices, I would say.
I would say questionable pacing choices. I would say a very questionable main event selection when we had a few matches in the first 2 hours that should literally been the main event, or hey, the opening segment. Let's go back to WCW, where usually WCW Nitro would give you the 2 people in a promo, then that would lead to the main event usually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, before we get into breaking down Fyre Fest 2025, let's go to the Control Center, because there's been some interesting developments in the week of AEW. And I want to start with the ratings from this past episode of Dynamite Size Collision, a.k.a. Fyre Fest. As the first 2 hours, according to Federal Weekly, averaged 655,000 people on TBS. That was up 3% from the previous week on Dynamite. Now, the thing about running a 4-hour show, Ashlee, a lot of people are going to decide, you know what? I'm good with 2 hours of professional wrestling. Let's call it a night, because the second half only was able to maintain 380,000 viewers and a .10 in the key demo. That's 18 to 49.
Yeah, understandably so. Wednesday being a tough night, a lot of people having work in the next morning. I mean, 8 to 10 is a pretty good time. I know they're kind of getting preempted around a lot with like sports and stuff. So we got one more 4-hour show. Hopefully, we can get back to breaking them down and having our back-to-back, our 2 shows a week after that.
Mr. Khan, you did not ask if you could be allowed a second 4-hour show. We're here to help you, but dude, help us.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were having like the summer blockbuster event at Dynamite, but wasn't aware it was going to be another 4-hour block.
We'll get to that one next week. We got 4 hours we got to talk about this week. So my other story I kind of want to talk about this week is Abaddon went onto her Instagram account earlier in the week and announced that her contract with AEW was not going to be renewed. And I got to say, Tony, what the hell? The most unique female wrestler in your division, and you don't have a spot on the roster for her?
Like you said, a very surprising choice. Abaddon may not have been most experienced coming into AEW, but she was doing quite a bit of training. I know like her and Dustin Rhodes were working together an awful lot. She had been putting in the work. She is a consistent fan favorite. She's, always been over when given the opportunity, even when the opportunity has usually only been around Halloween. I am very surprised. They've lost a few surprising names that were mostly being featured in ROH, like along with Layla Hirsch a few months back, and now Abaddon. Those are 2 women you certainly could have worked with. They would have become something for you. We saw a lot of development from the both of them, and Abaddon being such, like you said, a unique character who had such a creative, like, presence, it's baffling that Tony Khan couldn't find any sort of position for her.
Oh, I got one for you that they could have possibly done was, oh, hi, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Abaddon, a heel female faction. That didn't take like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, she could have fit right in with their kind of. They've gone right back to their, prior to Sky Blue's like aesthetic, like the very like goth princess aesthetic. Abaddon could have fit right in. Again, like this one doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, other than Tony saw something that we didn't see. But I mean, she was far too over with the crowd, I think, to just give up on her.
Well, I'm hoping that TNA has seen this release and went, oh, wait, we have Rosemary in TNA. Let's build another faction in TNA with Abaddon, Rosemary, and I got a feeling they're going to add another person to that collection if Zalbert size. If you've been watching TNA lately, this is a little spoiler alert. Zalbert side is in there. She's been feuding with Rosemary for the last couple of weeks, and I got a feeling that she's going to turn to the evil side, the dark side, and join Rosemary. So you can have Abaddon and you have another faction in TNA, and TNA is going on all cylinders.
Yeah, somebody's going to be able to find a spot for her.
Okay, so as we're talking about people leaving AEW for other possibilities, imagine my surprise Tuesday night when I was watching NXT and, wait a minute, Nigel, that's Mariah May. That's not on your show. Buddy, your girl, what's going on here? She's on NXT?
Oh, we knew it was coming. We had already heard the rumors, and I figured very much with no mention of her with Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa's match that she was already gone. We kind of talked offline, and while this does suck, obviously Mariah May is a fantastic talent. We saw what she did with Toni Storm in that storyline. AEW, I think, is a little better equipped to handle a loss like this. They re-signed Willow. They are bringing in Tekla and Mina. Like, again, it does suck, but I think they'll be okay. And like, all the best to Mariah May. She wanted to be in WWE. She said it even before being in AEW.
Exactly. This has been her professional dream, and we are very happy that she's been able to achieve it. And right now, that women's division in NXT, since they moved Julia and Stephanie Vicure up to the main roster, there's a slot there for somebody who has an experience, who has a brand name, and I got a feeling she's going to slide right into that NXT Women's World Title picture.
She's going to have to.
Well, that has been your AEW Control Center here on the Dynamite Drop, powered by the Hub. So let's break it down. We're going into Fyre Fest. So get your TT torches, your nice little drinks, and sorry, you got tents and maybe some water and stuff we got from Fyre Festival. But hey, the show opened up pretty good. We had Will Ospreay in the ring, and he laid out a challenge for next week in Portland. And here comes out Leo Rush and Andretti. And I'm going like Will, I'm like, why?
Same. Same here. I had the same reaction. Yeah, great promo from Will. And I also was confused by Leo Rush answering. We've seen their matches before, but was a little bit curious as to see where this would go, because we haven't seen Leo Rush do anything really since Top Flight in that long feud they had.
Well, I got a feeling this goes towards maybe them slotting with Ricochet later on in the evening. We'll keep this address because Ricochet was watching the full show. He was scouting for possible members to his new faction that we don't know what the name of that faction is going to be yet. We'll see. But the first match of the evening was a dang good match. It had a dang good promo from Mark Briscoe that got me fired up for this match. And it's Mark Briscoe versus your AEW World Champion, Moxley. And unfortunately for Mark Briscoe and his son, rinse, repeat, recycle, Mark Briscoe did a dang good effort here, but yet again, Moxley wins the day.
Yeah, expectedly brutal match between the two. And like you said, just the same outcome here for Mark Briscoe, which is not great for everybody else. Still not exactly clean, though. We still got some Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir shenanigans on the outside. We cannot escape these Death Riders.
True, and I got one bone to pick here because Marina Shafir stepped into the ring while only person in the ring was Jon Moxley. Why the hell is the ref trying to keep her out of the ring?
Good question. I'm with you. We've commented on the AEW officiating at times. Seems to be a little inconsistent.
So this is just basically we're 36 days away from All In, so we're just continuing storylines as we're building towards All In Texas. So this was just another beat in the story that the Death Riders are still running amok. We're still waiting for a champion to come to lay waste to the freaking Death Riders so we could have a new story.
Yeah, we see the seed being planted, and we only got a few more weeks, so.
Very true, Ashley. We got a few more weeks, and I gotta say, the next match cheered me up. It's Timeless Tony Storm, Maria Okada versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And yet again, Mr. Khan, we need AEW Women Tag Team titles kind of stacked now because yet again, we have another team, Julia Hart and Sky Blue, and Maria and Tony Storm. You have a division. You need titles.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like, again, we've been pairing off women. We've had some solid teams and still no progress on this front.
Well, as long as we have a podcast, we're going to keep beating the dang drum.
Yes, because I have been waiting, and I know a lot of people were very much hoping that was going to be an announcement last night, but didn't pan out that way. So hopefully we can get some sort of update or kind of like maybe teaser on something going on with this.
Okay, so I'm going to spare everybody. We have no major big announcement this week, so don't worry about that. There's no announcement coming from us whatsoever.
It's not us. Classic Con.
But I say, we got Thomas Tony Storm, Mayor Okada here, getting the victory. The cool thing about this was you had Mercedes Moné out there with her own little table with the wine, the steak, and Thomas Tony Storm at the end of the match walks over to her and basically picks the steak up and eats it like a Neanderthal, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, she just picked it up and chomped right into it. And this match is going to be fantastic. Like, they're building this match. I know I'm Mox Hangman has got to be the main event, but you could easily make these two ladies the main event.
Yes, he could. And I'm with you. I feel like it's going to be the men's world title as the main event. But damn, this match should open then.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that because these two women, I would love like a hot crowd opening up for a match like that. Oh, it'd be perfect in Texas.
Okay, so after this match, we have the Hurt Syndicate coming down to the ring, and we have MVP doing the coolest thing. He goes over to Bob and goes like, "Hey, Bob, didn't you used to live in Denver? What do you think about Denver?" And Bob just milked it for a minute with the thumbs up, thumbs down thing. MVP kind of whispers something into his ear, so I gotta say maybe it was a time cue, or maybe like he's just gonna like, dude, you got these guys in the palm of your hand, just do whatever you want to. And of course, Bob just decides to thumbs down on Denver because he lives in Texas now, apparently.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that MJF is just in the Hurt Syndicate. like he was, and Bobby Lashley hasn't killed him yet. I'm amazed.
You know, I feel like we need a timer somewhere on the show. Like, number of days since MJF F7 up in the Hurt Syndicate. And right now that thing is sitting at 0.
Yeah, he didn't really help too much.
So we have the Syndicate. They're out there doing their business. And yet again, kind of confusing, we have Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Commander come out. And I'm with MVP. I'm like going, you guys want to match with us? Do something first. Yeah, do something.
I mean, what a trio though to give the opportunity to. Commander was very, very upset with MJF during this opening segment between the two teams.
I would definitely not turn on the Spanish to English translation on your DVR for both segment. This word is the wise, okay? This word is the wise.
Yeah. Commander, and Speedball Mike Bailey kind of throwing around some words.
Well, they did have a match, and unfortunately, Ashley, it's LFI. LFI versus Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, Commander, and oh my freaking word, Tony Khan, have you not listened to the show at all? Why in the hell is Beast Mortals taking a pin yet again? He's eating pins like they're going out of style. They're like, he's at a buffet. All he wants to do is, I'll give a pin up to everybody.
Better yet, why is LFI taking losses? Why can we not find something consistent for this team? Did we not see how badass they looked when they came out and were standing at the ring entrance? They looked fantastic. We know all three of these guys are great. Why? I get visa issues. I understand like certain things like that out of our control. We can't help that. But there are times where we're just not putting these guys on TV, and there seems to be no reason for it.
I mean, like, the Hurt Syndicate, they stop there, they stare at these guys in their costumes, they're going like, "Not bad, no. We'll talk to you guys later." They go on. Why not have the Hurt Syndicate lay these 3 baby faces out and let LFI have an easy night?
Right. I wouldn't mind seeing like a Roosh versus Shelton Benjamin or Roosh versus Bobby Lashley, Mortos versus Shelton.
Very, very true. Now, we do get some more Hurt Syndicate shenanigans backstage where Will Ospreay's back there talking, and MJF rolls in and goes like, "Hey, Will, I'm here to help you. Why the hell are you trying to help Hangman versus Swerve? Why are you trying to get them to work together? Don't you know it'd be easier if you just let them be and let them destroy each other? Because you know you can't beat them." And Will Ospreay goes like, "I'm thinking about AEW, and oh, by the way, MJF, you can't beat Hangman and Page."
Well, I think they were both on the losing end the last time, so I think they'd both have quite an issue.
Well, I gotta say, Will almost found himself in a 4v1 in the wrong way as the rest of the Hurt Syndicate kindly shows up, and we have a little stir off between Bob and Will Ospreay. And oh, by the way, Tony Khan, if you're listening, I want a Bobby Lashley versus Will Ospreay match stacked.
Oh, we got to be headed towards that direction. They were Bobby Lashley kind of straightening up his shirt and fixing him up. I was like, yeah, we gotta throw that on a Dynamite soon.
Or a collision. The way things go sometimes, that might be a collision match.
True.
So we are on to another match on the evening, and this is a little deja vu because we have Matt Casser out in the ring. We know he's the greatest wrestler alive. We do the chant.
You.
And I'm kind of like with Matt, when Powerhouse Hobbs music hits, I'm going like, couldn't we find somebody else? Couldn't anybody?
I'm still amazed he got this whole thing over, but it's still working for me. I'm still enjoying it. Powerhouse Hobbs coming out and beating him in what was it?
If I'm right, I think Taz said there was like 4 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know it was less than a minute. I can't get enough of this. I want to see like where we can go from here, though, because I want to see like, do we eventually give Max Caster an actual win during one of these?
Well, now he's officially 0-11 in these challenges. 0-11. And I do believe Establer was the one who made the reference like, he's 0-10, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be 0-11 here in a minute.
Yeah, he's not done well at his own challenge. He doesn't seem deterred, though.
No. I'll give him an A for effort, A for perseverance.
Kind of no shot against Powerhouse, though.
No, I agree with you. No shot against Powerhouse Hobbs. So we move on to the main event of the first section of the show, as they kind of strangely had this Fyre Fest, like Dynamite, then it's Collision. And I'm going like, why aren't we treating this like a 1 4-hour show instead of back-to-back 2-hour shows?
Yeah, I thought that's what we were going to do as well, but we made the full switch, including an announcer team tag out.
I know, it felt like back in the day in WCW when he had that second era of Nitro, you got the secondary team to slide in there to let Eric Bischoff and Tony Schiavone and Larry Stavisso have a little time off away from commentary. So the main event of the first 2 hours was Omega versus Brody King versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Marseille Dora for the International Championship. And damn, this was a dang good match. And oh, by the way, at the end of the match, you got a little surprise, and the Okada one made an appearance.
Yeah, another match that easily could have been the main event. And I agree. A killer 4-way. Obviously, Kenny Omega coming out on top, but I'm still saying it. Brody King for singles champion in 2025 at some point.
Well, Ashley, I was just happy he didn't take the pin here in this match because I had a feeling that somebody in AEW has been listening to our podcast and literally been designed like, oh, this is someone they like. So you get an L and you get an L. But luckily, Brody King did not get one this evening. And we have Omega retaining. And spoilers, everybody, we're getting the unification match at All In Texas. And we're not going to wait to the end of the show to give you the big announcement Tony Khan had. We're doing it right here.
Classic TK telling us a huge announcement and then telling us that huge announcement at the end of the night after making us wait. And then it just being something we already knew was happening. This is the AEW I fell in love with.
Yes, we get this announcement around midnight Eastern, if my memory serves me right. So, hey.
That man can't be stopped with his insanity.
Okay, so we have that. So we roll into the second set of 2 hours as Osprey opens in he opens up both segments of the 4-hour show. I mean, like, this guy should be getting double paid. We get Osprey versus Leo Rush and a damn good match. Osprey wins the match and gets beat down by Andretti and Rush. And we have Hangman Adam Page come down, makes a save, and they fight off the crew. And we get a little promo segment from Hangman. Hangman goes like, you know what? Osprey had my back. Sure, I'm gonna have his back, but I'm my own guy, so I don't need any help for this world title match coming up. And I sure as hell not need any help from the worst person on the planet, Swerve Strickland.
And we all know what that means. He needs help from the worst person on the planet, Swerve Strickland. I'm very excited to see how this all pans out. I feel like Ospreay's going to get it done. I'm just interested to see how it happens. I don't know if it's going to be some begrudging thing where they go, all right, sort of agree with Ospreay where it's, we just got to get it away from Moxley. We can kill each other for the title afterwards. That's fine. But we got to get it away from Moxley because these Death Riders are safeguarding this belt, essentially.
Very true. We're going to have to wait to see if Will Ospreay can channel his inner Winston Churchill as he's trying to keep the alliance together here in the next 36 days or so. Or will this implode? We'll have to wait to see. But you know what? It's going to be great TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely looking forward to this.
What I was looking for was this next segment as we have FTR versus Atlantis Jr. and his partner. Yet again, another great match. I thought Atlantis Jr., his partner, was going to win this match, so we go to Grand Slam, Mexico for the rematch. You know what I mean? FTR got the victory here, and they cut a hell of a promo after the match. And like you said a few weeks ago, Suddenly Halfway with FTR is the greatest thing that we ever knew we needed until it happened.
Yeah, I genuinely never would have thought to pair this group together, and I continue to love this version of FTR. These heel characters where they just consistently interrupt people, they're constantly talking over, pandering to people, condescending. I love it. I'm very excited to see them get a little more ingrained into the tag team division again.
I just love the fact before Suddenly Halfway was trying to talk, Cash got on the mic, go like, hey, he's trying to talk, people. Calm down. He's trying to talk. Then they pass the mic over to Hardwood. Hardwood waits around for a few minutes, like, well, I guess you guys screwed up. You're not going to hear me talk this week. Top guys out. They go back up the ring. They mouth off to fans as they're going up. Hardwood gets on his back, motioning to a fan like, hey, come over here and pin me if you want to try. You think you can do it. And Suddenly Halfway, I think he tries to hit one little move, then he lays on Hardwood for like a 2 count as Cash is counting, and he gets out, and he just look at the fans.
Yeah, they're these kind of just like the worst kind of heels. Like they're the smarmy, and you just want to punch them both in the face.
Oh, they would be so great in the 70s and the 80s. I mean, they would be causing riots if they were in the 70s and the 80s. So we move on to a fine professional wrestling match as we have Kyle Fletcher, Takesha, and the endless capabilities of one Don Callis to find a partner out of thin air. Who do I want this week? I know the greatest luchador of all time from Mexico, Hector Centro, makes an appearance, and it's versus the Outrunners and Bambino.
Don Callis is the worst person. And this guy already has a faction that is incredibly overpowered. And what does he do? He rubs it in our face that he can bring in somebody like Hechicero on a whim to this group. It's insane. I can't stand him.
So the Don Callis finally gets a victory here. It was a fine match. It's just continuing the dumbest of this group and keeping Kyle Fletcher and Takesha strong as we head to their matches at All In Texas. And the next thing we see is Megan Vane carrying Anna Jay over her back out to the middle of the rampway. And we're thinking that she's going to long dart Anna Jay into the 5th row here off the stage. And luckily for Anna Jay, her original best friend, her original tag team partner, Tay Conti, has made her return.
Yeah, after what, it's been almost 2 years, I think? Man, it was great to see Tay come back.
And I feel like we're heading towards Tay versus Megan Vane, and sign me up, please, and thank you. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see what she's capable of. It's been so long since we've seen her. I know she did those few matches in Stardom a few months ago. So would love to see what she's kind of picked up and how she's progressed since she's been gone.
Very true. We'll just have to wait to see how that feud develops in the next couple of weeks. Now, backstage before this match started, Father of the Year, Christian Cage, is there with the patriarchy. He talks about his son, Nick. He had a fine showing in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he didn't win it. But this dude wrestled so many matches and so many nights. So, you know what? He doesn't need a night off. He's going to have a 4-way to defend that ROH TV title. And oh, by the way, I may go bang his mom while we're. Well, wait, no, I ain't gonna bang his mom now. I'm gonna watch the match first.
Yeah, wild stuff for Christian. Um, I can't with this guy. Yeah, Nick Wayne. First of all, this was a great 4-way match. I'm very surprised to see Mother Wayne so kind of like not objective to what's being said to her son and done to her son. It's very interesting.
It is. It's really interesting because I've thought, we thought a few weeks ago that maybe it would be Mother Wayne and Nick breaking away from Christian and them getting fed up with Christian being like this dick. But now I think it's gonna be Nick Wayne just getting fed up with both of them, going like be like the angry teenager, go like, I'm done with my parents. Let me go see what I can do for myself.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, that might be maybe the way to go about it. I don't know if Mother Wayne there ever really saw herself as an on-screen character the way she's become, but I'm very interested to see where it goes because I still think our future may hold a Christian Copeland reunion, and I think we got to turn Christian face for that to happen. So it'd be interesting to see how we would get there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of interesting booking there because so you're gonna make this Father of the Year, this guy who's trying to bang the mom of Nick Wayne, the baby face, in a feud where actually everything points to Nick Wayne being the baby face.
Yeah. I mean, but Nick Wayne is also a good, like, smarmy, like, kind of conceited young punk kid, and I could easily see him being a heel. But to get there would have to be like something monumental would have to happen.
Well, we'll have to wait and see about that. But like you said, the match was great. And oh, by the way, Ricochet was down there watching it ringside as we had Nick Wayne successfully defend his ROH TV title versus Lee Johnson, Sammy Guevara, and AR Fox. And of course,
continues to get the best reactions every time he's in the ring.
And if there's anybody to join this group of Ricochet out of this match, let it be AR Fox so we get some more AR Fox TV time.
Oh, we need more AR Fox TV time. I can't believe the reactions he's been getting, and you got to do something with that.
We've been saying it for like 6 months. I literally was at AEW Dynamite in Knoxville, and the crowd was chanting like, "Who are you?" to AR Fox. Like at the start of his match. By the end of this match, they weren't chanting that; they're clapping and cheering for AR Fox.
He is so good. They got to acknowledge it at some point.
We had to debut Ateka, the Austrian, not Australian. Last week I said Australia, so I'm gonna raise my hand up. I was an idiot. She's from Austria. She had a dang good debut here. Unfortunately for me, Lady Frost was the victim of the debut. I'm like, can we not find somebody else to let take the L here? Because Lady Frost is a dang good professional wrestler. We should be pushing her as well.
Yeah, surprised we don't get to see more Lady Frost on Dynamite. Kind of short, but an effective debut match for Tekla. I mean, as much as we do hate to see Lady Frost in that spot, she is somebody to make Tekla look good because she is one of the best at just selling and putting somebody over and making them look fantastic.
And I love Tekla's submission hold that she won the match with.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, she went back and put it on after the match just to make sure you understand it. She is a freaking heel.
I mean, her like spine thing where she flips back, that looks insane. I don't know how her spine isn't broken.
I feel like she's not human. I feel like she came from a different planet. Because I'm like you. Every time I see her do these spider flip like that, I'm like, there's no way. That defies physics. all of the bones of your body should be like ping, 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 ping.
Yeah. Your wrist, something's got to hurt.
Well, we'll see where AEW's new signing goes next. But
I was gonna say, I know she has a match next week, following the post match events with Queen Aminata. So I guess we'll get to see her first like real, kind of like outside of an enhancement talent, I guess you would say, like kind of match in taking on Queen Aminata next week.
Well, our queen did get backstage and had a promo segment where she kind of said, well, this new spider might not last too long because back in Guinea, what we do to spiders is we stop them.
And Queen Aminata has been good, so Tekla better have a game plan for her.
I am still looking forward to next week in this match. This should be a great match that we'll be reviewing next week on the show. But Ashlee, we're up to the main event. Yay, we're up to the main event. 3.5 hours later, here we are at the main event. And what a main event. First of all, it's the Don Callis family. It's Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, Lance Archer, and Josh Alexander versus the freaking Paragon and Daniel Garcia.
A strange choice out of all of these matches, I would say, to be the main event.
Yes, I'd say so, because you could easily have been like Ospreay versus Leo Rush, because you set it up at the beginning of the show. That 4-way for the Continental title match could have been it.
I agree with that.
But here we are. We have this weird 8-man tag, and it just felt like a match to be a match.
A match that felt a little strange. I feel like DG is really entertaining this thought of joining Don Callis, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I like that very much.
My problem with that is we're filming this guy babyface heel too many times. We haven't had a good run babyface wise with Daniel Garcia. He's been babyface for about half a year now. Before that, he had a decent heel run. If we're going to flip him back to heel, we should never done the babyface run in the first place.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we'd kind of be flip-flopping him a little too much if we did that, but I'm hoping he'll get away from Don Callis, and even if he doesn't, I don't see him like joining like Adam Cole or anything, but maybe just more it takes his advice and kind of listens to him and helps kind of tone out Don here a bit.
Well, there's been some like spreading of the Don Callis family, as Kyle Fletcher has been a little annoyed lately with the actions of the Don Callis family. Maybe Don's seeing this going like, I need to hedge my bet here, just in case this Australian decides to be a Will Ospreay and leave the group. So, Daniel Garcia, let's just talk for a second here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Don Callis is very smart. And he probably does see Kyle Fletcher's frustration, because it's been building for a few weeks now. So, I mean, even when you saw them this week, it was very funny to see like Takeshita being very serious, and then they pan over to Kyle Fletcher, and he's got like this goofy look on his face, and he's like bobbing his head and stuff. He looks almost a little, he's looking more and more out of place, it seems, in the Don Callis family.
Well, if you want to see the promo before they have their 8-man tag match, I gotta say, Kyle Fletcher looked like he was channeling his inner 1980s professional wrestler babyface, as he was saying there, this mentally shaking the ropes as he's making faces as his teammates were cutting promos.
Strange. What are you gonna do?
Well, actually, this was one strange episode of Dynamite, and it was like 4 hours long, and they called it Fyre Fest. So
it was 4 hours, and Tony Khan still managed an overrun.
Well, yes, it was like a 6-minute overrun. It finished around about 12:06 a.m. on a Thursday morning.
I hope he chills next week. Give us a little reprieve. You gotta schedule this out.
I agree with you. So, Ashlee, where can we find you on the Super Information Superhighway? Because we're gonna go lay down, have a nap, because we literally
make up for yesterday.
We're literally recording this show not even 24 hours after the show freaking ended.
Yeah, no, we would have been smack dab in the middle, right?
Exactly. So, Ashlee, where can we find you on the Super Information Superhighway?
On Blue Sky, and it's just at groovyash.bsky.social.
And yes, next week you can follow all her angry tweets on Blue Sky as Tony Khan makes this like a 14-minute overrun, and we're sitting there at 12:15 Eastern. And of course, you can follow the show on Instagram, Twitter, The Dynamite Drop. We are Shawn and Ashlee. top podcasters doing top podcasting things. Like Soke Halfway FDR says, top people out.